Welcome to another episode of Middle Ground with JLE L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, from my first album, The JLE Experience. I own the music copyright. Don't mute on Facebook. The guest for the day, probably scheduling, have to reschedule, but still want to give you an episode this Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody's safe and having a good time. I'm calling this one Conversation with JLE Volume 2. I think there's a Volume 1. Can't recall at the moment. It's been a cool day in Michigan. We got some bipolar weather. It was 40s early in the day. Then it became warmer later. But I'll take it as long as it ain't snow. It's like the mantra here in the city. As long as it ain't snow. Hope y'all having a good time this holiday weekend. I had a meeting with my Middle Ground JLE board of directors and partner. Great stuff. Great stuff coming soon. Not a bad day. So today I figured since I came up with a logo, if you've seen earlier when I posted this, I do have a record company, Rebel Force Entertainment LLC, where we make music like family. I don't have a logo for it. I don't even talk about it. Kind of forgot about it. So gotta tighten up on that, get on my business ground a little better and music grind. So I figure do something fun, talk about the process of creating the song. Can that be something fun for anybody out there might want to try to get creative one day? Now, everybody process. The person I looked up to coming up was Babyface because I saw how when him and L.A. Reid formed the Face Records, every person album they worked on, you saw they worked on it, it went platinum. So I'm like, I want to be like this dude. He won multiple Executives of the Year in the '90s because the name Hooked Up Boys Men, I was like just Hall of Fame status over. End of the road, I Made Love to You, just too many hits back to back working with that group. But I always used to love the interviews with the artists on how their creative process is of making a song. Like I know back when my first song I wrote was 8th grade, back in '91, I think. When I wrote it, front and back, couldn't tell me nothing. Started refining it when I got to high school. By 11th grade, I was in the vocal at Cooley, and in there I met some cool people, which was a cool environment just to see if we didn't have a teacher for a minute or we had a free day, we just started singing. You know, at that time, I was real big. Boys Men would be my group because I liked that they reminded me of a choir with their almost 4-part harmonies. So when we used to be in there chopping it up, people singing Jodeci, other people. They're like, man, I don't know nobody really know the Boys Men. I'm like, I know Boys Men. Like, man, what does boy Jeff know about Boys Men? Like, I got a little, I'm nice. I'm a little nice in these streets. So I start singing like, oh, Jeff, he can do it. Now the whole time I was terrified because normally I'd be at the crib when you had the cassette Walkman with the headphones singing in the dark. So singing in front of it was like, man, you still not stepping out your element, but it was cool because we all was musicians in the making. And even if the conductor, the teacher, and the dude on the piano even stopped, like I knew he had some of the voice, but oh, okay, he got some confidence in him. And they allowed Jeff, you nice, man. I told you I'd be right. I ain't writing songs for nothing, man. I'm doing something. And my process used to always be, even at Wayne State in class, I probably got books with multiple books with songs I wrote, maybe over probably 1,000 songs when I think about it. I could be sitting there and I might hear a melody in my head. Like, okay. Like, say you get in your head, oh, where we go. Oh, can we flow? Like, oh, so hold on, write that down. I grab some paper, then like, oh, Jeff writing the song. And I come up with the chorus because Babyface always taught me when I used to watch a lot of his interviews. The verses lead you up to the whole point of the story, which was the chorus. So sometimes his songs would have a long paragraph, like that's the chorus. Can you do that? Well, the music, you can do anything. You the artist, do you, whatever comes to you. And I would notice that it would seem like it builds up to this is the point of the song. So I'm I mirrored that approach. I wanted to get you to hear. Now I did learn over the years the verses matter as well. So you do need to put some honey on those too to get you to want to hear. Okay, what's the point? Well, what are you talking about in this chorus? Because if anything, you remember the chorus in music. You don't remember nothing else. Go to the book and cut. We do that right now, so it's public. Got to figure how to do that at some point. So anybody over here, my bad. Public. There we go. It's public on my Jeff L. Edwards Facebook music page. I've added that to the list of stuff now, so we're good to go now. Anyway, when I started doing it, they were like, "Dang, that's kind of dope, Jeff. Kind of dope." Like, well, what you gonna do? Like, I want to have my own record label like Babyface. That was my original goal. Instead of being a lawyer, back then, I called myself LG. I was in Latin, so it's I called it LG, but it was spelled LEG. My family like that say leg, like no, it's not. The E is silent. Like I'm putting a line over, so it's silent. It to me it works. I don't care what you say. Then it became Logan Storm. My family got jokes. I forgot one of my homeboys like, man, that's a porn star name. Like, no, you did not just say that. Logan Storm, X-Men, like, nah, Jeff, nah, you on something different. Like, man, I'm not on that. You tripping. So, like, okay, no problem. But then I remember I was pulling trash at Wayne State, and the lady I was real cool with had mentioned when we started chopping up, she knew that I do music. Like, so what's your stage name? I'm like, well, I'm thinking Logan Storm or something. And she like, well, you don't want to create two personalities. I'm like, huh? What's she talking about? Like you know how you hear some of the downside stories of famous artists on how that person they created to get them to where they was trying to go, out of poverty or whatever, took on a persona of his own. You should be you. And I'm like, well, Jeffrey L. Levers don't sound dope. Sound like a boring name. I want something sweet, you know. But it did resonate with me that nah, you got to be you. And what does that encompass? And it's sad but funny. But I was at the barbershop getting a haircut the other day, and I was talking with my barber and a few cats in there. We was talking about Coach Prime and what he going to do with Colorado this season, college sports. And I was like, well, he had attempted suicide. They like, man, that's fake news. Like, no, dude. TD Jakes Manpower Conference '98. I bought the tape back then, and it shocked me that he said it on there. And I had to find him in a recent interview where he mentioned he attempted it. Like, but he was like, you never know. Anybody that's having those issues in this mental health month, call 988. Again, call 988. A mental health professional will help you. Don't suffer in silence. Don't take yourself out. And I started thinking about that when she said, you don't want to create a persona, you want to be you. So I'm like, well, I don't know if I want the world to know my name, but you mature, you evolve. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess Jeffrey L. Levels ain't bad. So then for me to really get a little more confident, I'm a avid Marvel, DC fan, and wrestling fan. So I'm like, well, it's only one person I know that uses their name, even though he played himself as the villain against Stone Cold Steve Austin, was Vince McMahon. And when he had that "don't cross the boss" type stuff, he would say, "I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Damn it, you're gonna do what I tell you." Like, you know what? I guess Jeffrey L. Levels ain't bad if he could do it. So that inspired me to be cool with using my name. And now, time later, you sit back like, wow, 2 hours made, working on a third, doing 3 shows, 2 books published, working to publish 2 more. Like, wow, it is power in your name. It's power in the name of Jesus, right? So your name's powerful too. So I'm cool with Jeffrey L. Edwards now being that name. So because I ain't no, I still felt I need to have a show today. So I'm like, well, I ain't put on the keyboard in a minute. So I'm gonna get the people idea about music. This what we're gonna do. Me, I like the black keys, the sharps and the flats. It has like a little more emotional connection and sound to it. So sometimes I close my eyes and I just start playing. And for the last two albums I put out, some of my best songs in there to me was in those moments where like now you hear that's in the bass. That's the that's up in the treble, high stuff. I don't like to be in there. I like to be near baritone because as a when I was at choir at Wayne State, I was a baritone where I could do a little tenor and I could do the bass. I guess I got a little older. I could do that Will Downey deep bass like Bass Boys being like, yeah, I got skills in me. Then I used to be able to sing Maxwell, A Woman's Worth. Like, okay, I can hit them high notes. A little out of practice, a bit busy. But if you're an artist, someone that just want to mess around with some music, everybody creativity might be different on how you do it. Mine would be coming here and I just start playing the keys and see what happens. Make sure I get this right. I ain't gonna close my eyes because I'm on camera, but I put my head up and just something like that. I might do it again. Then I'm always thinking with that pedal that you tap when you're playing to hold sustain the note. It keeps the time signature in your head. So then you want to speed it up a little bit. So then start getting a little jazz with it. Here we go. Then you probably get lost in the music. But in playing around with it, you might eventually come up with a melody. Like I had a song called Soul Connection that I'm looking to put on the third album. And I still remember the bass melody of it, I think. And I always gotta have that ending because the 90s artists and some early 2000s would have like endings to something. Then I'm trying to sing it. Been working getting my voice back right, getting back in the gym. Gotta get right. The ending go like this. But I added the I want. Let me see. I wanna make a connection. 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 The end song out, a little honey on it. But I need to redo that song because I did a piano redo of it, but I might add a little bit more to it for the third album. But if you start playing around with it, say you do that. I've learned with the technology we got now, I record it. That way you start recording snippets to where then you have your whatever you're coming up with. You gotta have a change up. And you record all that. And when I've been doing it with my producer, Throne Music, Christian, Dr. Dre, awesome dude, awesome beats, awesome, brilliant mind for music. I feel like I work with a genius, man. We get together like Shaq and Kobe when we start working together making music. But I would notice when I would come in, I could airdrop it to him. He always be checking the time setting to see if he got to adjust it. Be like, man, you got this stuff right on point. Like, I mean, I was a music major myself at one point. I want to get to where I heard Tupac, one of my people I looked up to a lot. They said he getting there. He started running through me. He was like, I want to be on that level with to where I'm coming here. Boom, boom, and maybe half the song done, type stuff, for example. But it's process for everywhere, and don't be afraid. Like I made some mistakes in my hand, so what? You don't make mistakes when you really record, even when you're practicing, because you'll practice the mistakes. But you keep working at it. Practice make perfect, right? These the regular keys. They cool. They just don't have that soulful honey like the sharps and flats do. And that just sound good. And I don't have it up loud because I want to. I like Baby Grand sound in piano even more. It's really dope. And then after a while, you just start messing around with that thing. You might come up with something. And it ain't got to be 7 minutes. It could be a minute, whatever. You're doing your thing. I know music for me is like, man, I got a few places of sanctuary. God, working out, cemetery, chopping up my pops. But it's something about music, man. Just the sounds and getting lost in them. Like all instruments are dope and awesome, but it's something about piano. Like one of the best piano songs I used to rock all the time was Brian McKnight Anytime. The way the key he composed that track, like wow, you just play the instrumental. You're like, dang, that boy is playing that piano. Kim, I Can't Stop Loving You piano play was dope. Alicia Keys is a lot of more people, many more artists that's dope with it. But you keep playing around with it, you find something you like with it. And I used to be a very shy person where I didn't want to talk to people about music, but you learn, yeah, embrace who you are. You multi talented, and it's okay. I mean, God gave you all them talents, supposed to use them. Might as well use them. But when you hear that sound, man, that just sounds awesome. Like wow, woo! It just make you want to start messing around. You just start messing around. You come up with some good stuff, you know. And maybe it might be guitar for you or a saxophone, whichever instrument. Harmonica's dope too. Shout out to Stevie Wonder with that one. Like his harmonica solo on Usher's Confessions Part One. I'm not sure if they couldn't get they mustn't get the clearance or something because when you bought the Confessions album, it was muted. You couldn't hear it. You had to go to YouTube to hear that version. Because I remember in '98 they debuted it. I'm like, that's Stevie playing harmonica. Dog, this song is amazing. But when I get the album, like, what's Stevie? I don't want this. This ain't the version I want to listen to. I want the harmonica solo. That's a dope instrument as well. you know. So I know everybody gonna cook something probably this weekend, some ribs, whatever. Heard it's cheat code, throw it in the grill. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what yet. I still got to clean up. 2 more shows. Homeboy Jerome going to give a mental health testimony tomorrow. That's gonna be some powerful stuff. 13 and up. And then the best fun you can have from the comfort of your home, man. Middle ground with JLE ground floor, where we can agree to disagree, still be family. Shout out to my co-host Terry. I was told we have some very amazing, interesting conversations, like these grown folks conversations, because people need to learn, educate, entertain, have fun. And then I've heard, like, the man perspectives, like the man perspective ain't really crazy. It's kind of simple. But I guess you gotta have a conversation to try to find the common ground in. But it's always great conversation. And shout out to all the people on my Facebook music page that are watching the side reels I make. I just really learned that people are watching them, and shout out to the people that's really starting to support, because my other co-host Marte do the sports line with JLE and Marte. Since that goes live on my Facebook music page, JLE L.L.C, I noticed it had 84 views. That's awesome. So we're getting the views. I'm working. Just work the plan. Just for anybody out there hearing it, whatever God got for you to do, man, just keep working the plan. Don't be, man, the money ain't piled up yet. That's going to come. If God told you to do it, just put the work in and keep learning, getting the kinks out. So you can be ready when that money do pile up like Scrooge and Duck, and you don't squander it, Take care of people and do a little something for yourself with it. But, man, appreciate everybody that's supporting. Shout out to ones going to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with JLE L.L.C. That's where all 3 shows, Middle Ground JLE, Middle Ground with JLE Ground Flow, and Middle Ground presents the Sports Lounge with JLE and Marte. So, just check them out. They're all there. They're all there. I post on all my social media. So if you go to @Middle Ground with JLE, that's the Instagram. Post on everything there as well. I'm still working to use the Twitter and TikTok and all that stuff more, but definitely there. LinkedIn. I use all my social media. So you'll see a flyer talking about what I got going on. That's all I have for today. Definitely want to get on here. We're going to reschedule him because Timothy Simpson's doing a lot of great stuff. Definitely wanted to get that story out there so whoever might want to walk in that path can hear that story. So we get that rescheduled. And do something for yourself this weekend. I mean, if you got to work, at least you're getting that time and have double time. Get some rest. Go chop it up with your peoples. And reflect on and start contemplating where you want to be the next 6 months, next year. Start visualizing where you're trying to go so you can get there. And it's going to take work. It ain't going to be done in 5 minutes. Greatness ain't a microwave. It slow cooks. And when it's ready, it's awesome. So have a great holiday weekend. Check us out tomorrow. And till next time, everybody. Here we go. 313 destroys love. The Motor City destroys love. Can't nothing stop me. Destroys love. I love my city. Destroys love. That 313. Detroit raised me. Detroit's in me. Can't nothing stop me.